Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O. Is your toilet running and running and running like this one after you flush the toilet? I can't tell you how many times this has happened. I'm at Mother's house and it's just continuing to run, and I'll talk to you about that in a minute. If you want to fix something like this, stick around. It's only going to cost about $10. Really? Oh, hey, when is the last time I replaced the toilet fill valve? Oh man, quite a few years ago. But I know I can do it because I've done it before. I have not opened this yet. Okay. We'll get this pulled out and take a quick look at all this stuff in here. Make sure I've got everything out of the box. You can read certain things on here to give you ideas on different things, okay? And see, here's one part where it talks about adjusting the height. We'll have to take a look at that. It also comes with a whole kit and caboodle directions, quick install guide, okay? And so you can look at that. And it also talks about troubleshooting. So if you ever have an issue after you install it, what to do about it. And this is where on the troubleshooting, it'll show you on a brand new one how to remove the top and how to reinstall the top. You see right there? See how it says to pull up, turn counterclockwise, and I believe you have to push down on it. Left hand twist cap and lever arm counterclockwise to unlock cap. Let cap hang. Okay, push up, grip with left hand. Okay, I guess you don't have to necessarily push down. I've always kind of pushed down on that, but you have to push. You lift this part up and then turn this counterclockwise. And then see how he's got a cup over the top of it? He's holding the cup. Hold empty cup upside down over uncapped valve to prevent splashing. Turn water supply on and off a few times. And then replace the valve cap, and you do it the same way, and it gives you directions here. And it also gives you directions on replacing the seal. Remember? I showed you, you can buy the seal separately. Okay? And basically you go through the same steps. Okay? And it shows you all kinds of other things here. I thought it interesting just looking at this. Water level in tank may be too low. Half inch below top of water line is recommended. Now years ago they said 1 inch is recommended. Now maybe they've made these, they've built these a different way where they want it 1 inch or half an inch. If you get it down too low, maybe the water level in your bowl is too low, and maybe it's not filling properly. Maybe you've got your water down too low, so you want to adjust it so it's a half an inch. Do you see what I mean? So this is good. This information here is very good, and so I would read that stuff along with my video. Everything kind of goes hand in hand. We'll look at this here. I'll just keep the camera going here. Okay. Here's the little thing that goes on top. Here's the pipe, and I'll show you about that. It pushes on there, and I thought that interesting. It didn't come with a little clip. Oh yeah, there's a okay. I see what they've done. This pops on the top. And that holds everything, and then you put this on the top. Unlike how this old one is. You see, the old one doesn't have this whole thing. You see how the pipe is kind of stuck down in there? Well, it's attached with this little S hook. And if you don't have this S hook on there, by the way, you say, just take this pipe and push it down there. Well, guess what? If you push that down there too far, and if your pipe is sticking down more, let's say it's sticking down, 2 or 3 inches, the last of it, I'll just push it down there, that'll hold it, that'll be fine. Did you know that this can act as a suction, and maybe everything is working fine, but your toilet is draining. Somehow your bowl is draining, and every 15-20 minutes you hear that your toilet's running to fill the tank back up, and for some reason you're racking your head. What is going on? Is it the toilet? Is it the flapper that's leaking? Is it the other thing underneath the flapper that's leaking? Where is it leaking? I don't see where it's leaking. And so I fixed that, I replaced that and everything, and it's still running. It could be because this pipe is pushed down too far. Okay, that'll cause, I don't know why, but it'll cause it to siphon the water out of your tank. Okay, trust me, that's just something about it too. Okay, so on this particular one, this thing here it's split right there, see? And that just goes in between there, and it pushes down. I'm going to push that down on there. So when I get it pushed down, it's only going to go down to there, see? Right to there, like that. And then I'm going to hook the black pipe on that. And they give it plenty long, and then I'll end up having to cut that to adjust it so it's just a little bit. I don't want it pushed all over the place, okay? So it looks like even though you may be a DIY beginner, you might think, he's making it sound kind of easy, but I know it's not as easy as he claims it to be. Well, newsflash, it is pretty simple. Okay, this is the rubber washer. When you push it down into the tank, it's going to be there, and then here's my plastic nut that fits underneath. When I take that old one off, I'm not going to use the old nut, I'm going to use the new nut. Okay, and I'm going to put that on there, and then that's going to hold that whole thing to the tank. Okay, then the threads, there'll be enough threads left. There'll be enough threads left after I have this tightened up to where I'll tighten up the water supply line to that. Do you see what I mean? So not only do you have this one threaded bit, you've got the other threaded bit that's going to go on there too. It's important when you put that in, I'm going to angle that. I'm going to angle it, and I'm going to look at the old one before I take the old one off, and I see how this head and the arm are kind of angled out this way. I want to get it angled about like that. Does that make sense? I want it angled at about the same angle coming out. I don't want it too close like that. I don't want the ball having the adjustment screw too close to the back edge, let's say, or I'm not paying attention. I've got it over here like this, and I tighten it up. Okay, good. Now what? Should have been like that. Then you have to loosen things up, move everything around. And the thing I saw on this is new to me too. Remember I said you take a Phillips screw for this, and that's not the case. This one is just by your hand. You loosen it or tighten it, and see right now, see how the ball is way up high on it? Well, to lower it, and I said it had full threads. Well, this one, they only got threads right here, nothing there. And so this, I can turn it all day long on that, and that just swivels through there, see? And so if I want to raise or lower that ball, I'm going to do that. You see how the ball is lowering? See? And then after I get it adjusted, if it's too low now and I want to raise it, I tighten it. I'm tightening it, and then this ball is going to go up. You see? Oh, that's good. Every few years they always come up with some other way on how to make it easier to make these, how to make them cheaper. Everything's plastic. See, remember I said on the commercial grade, this threaded rod here is brass. Okay, big wow. I mean, these only are designed to last so long. Can you see the whole thing is all plastic? My word, is this thing meant to last more than 10 years? Probably not. I've I've replaced these in Maui and toilets after 4 or 5 years. Granted, those were vacation condo rentals. They were used and abused a lot, and maybe that was an issue, but I replaced all kinds of those with these being less than 7 years old. Okay, so in any case, now to adjust the tree, you see this thing here. It's kind of, see how the plastic is split, and it's split on there. Now I can't adjust that until I raise this up. And this used to be really hard to push up. Look at that, I've already got it off. Now I can, well, you see, you're supposed to unscrew this. And I wish they would just do it that way, with it being on an actual threaded deal. But you have, right here, you have to push it up a little bit more. Now you can take it and pull on it. You see how I pulled on that? And now it's up higher. I want it higher, I can pull or push in, and you can get it adjusted however you want. So after I take this old one out, before I install this, before I clip this down, see, you adjust this. Once you get the right height, then you clip that back down all the way like that. See? Now I can't move that. So I have to make sure it's up all the way. Don't just clip it down like that and think, oh, that's enough. No, this has to be all the way. Like that. Okay? So after I take that old one down, I'll adjust this. I'll push this down in there. Makes sense? I want to make sure that this rubber, you see this rubber gasket? I want to make sure that the rubber gasket is pushed all the way up. Okay? And that will allow for my adjustment to be proper. You see right now, most of the ones come about like that. Well, I want to just push this up so it's tight. Does that make sense? Now, when I push it down, I can get this adjusted properly. Lifting that up, then it's just trial and error. I pull it out, I put it in there and look at it. I'll show you. But I was just trying to give you some insight on this before I take this other one out. Because like I said, this one is slightly leaking. I say slightly. The water is up like this again. Okay, inside the tank. I'll show it to you. I just had all that water out, didn't I? See there? It's hard to see, but there's about 3/4 of an inch of water down at the bottom because this is draining very, very slowly. I really don't want to take and tighten that as tight as I can, because if I do that, I could snap that arm off. Does that make sense? I don't want to do that. I've got it almost, it's just dripping a little bit, okay? So when I take this out, when I undo that and take this out, it's only going to be out for as long as I need to sit there and adjust this back and forth and then push back down in the hole. Does that make sense? And so if this thing is running just that much, actually there won't be any water in the tank because I'm going to have that out. When I take that out, it's gonna be dripping, right? And so I'm going to get a bowl. I got a bucket outside. That's what I'll do. I'll take the bucket and I'll put that inside the bucket and fashion it in such a way to where it'll be dripping into the bucket. Then I can take my time adjusting this only after I get this water out of here again. Okay? All right, so just a few things you need to know, right? I mean, have I said anything or explained anything that's too difficult for you to understand? If so, you can always send me a question under the comments, or you can watch this video again. Okay? So I'll grab my bucket and get ready for the next step.